Heavenly Master, I come to thee at this hour of the day, thanking thee for the many blessings that you have given us. And Master, as we summon ourselves here today, I ask you please, to be in the midst of us. And let us have a joyous time in your name. And let us do according to your will, I pray, dear Master. I ask you please, sir, to keep us on one accord. These blessings I ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Attention, salute, pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Ms. Kate Cook. Ms. Lois Short. Present. Ms. Betty Johnson. Present. Mr. Craig Gill.
Yeah.
Mr. Rex McCarthy. The Honorable Mayor Jackie Johnson.
Present. We'll move down to item number 2, and that is public comment. This is an opportunity for anyone who is desiring to speak on any item that is on the agenda. At this time will be the time to do so.
How much comment?
Including the budget?
This ain't got anything to do with the budget, I just want to make a comment.
Sure.
On the agenda.
On the agenda.
On the agenda, I'm sorry, I thought you meant public comment otherwise.
Can you make comments on the budget?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes. Okay, are you you're not repeating any comments?
Well, a while ago I couldn't ask anything that could be answered. Now I'm wondering, can they be answered?
I'm gonna answer each one of yours.
Okay.
In just a minute when I talk. I made a note. So
Okay.
I'll be answering each one. Right after this.
Can you make any comments about anything later on?
Can we do what about it?
Can you make any comments about anything about the town later on, or do you have time for that?
No, I don't have a problem with it. I just want to maintain order.
I
As
know
long as
that,
order
I
is
just said-
maintained, yeah, I have no problem at all.
Can I make it now, or make it later, or when?
If it's pertaining to the budget, you can make
No,
comments
I'm
now.
talking about-
That is what, we're at that stage on our agenda right now.
Now, this don't have anything to do with the budget, what I'm asking, can you make a comment about something to do with the town at any point during the meeting?
If it's on the agenda, yes.
No, I didn't call him before the agenda.
But you could, if you can't speak today, next month you could ask it to be put on the agenda, and then you can speak.
Exactly. Exactly.
It could wait a minute, but it'll still be there.
Okay. Item number 3, to approve the minutes of August meeting.
May I make a motion to approve the minutes of the August meeting?
It's been properly moved and second. All in favor say aye. Item number 4, the adoption of ordinance number 966, budget for the fiscal year July 1, 2014 to June 30th, 2015. What is your pleasure?
I came to stand because I can see the council from here and I can't really see them from there. Before I actually present the budget, I wanted to address a couple of the things that were brought up. Let's start with the thing that seems to be the most popular thing to talk about since June, or the last day of June, which is the increase for the mayor's salary. I'm going to pass this out to the council now. What this is a breakdown of the benefits. The benefits that the mayor has not taken in his first term, and those that he will not take in his second term because he does not take any benefits. He does not take the 3% raise each year. He does not receive the retirement, and he does not receive the health insurance for the city. So there is no benefits package to speak of. There's basically nothing. He's a $30,000 a year
Would
employee.
you speak up? They couldn't hear me and I can't hear you.
Mr. Tucker, you're the first person ever that couldn't hear me.
I'm getting older.
We'll do it like this. This paper that I just passed out outlines term number 1 and term number 2. In the first term, all the way through the end of this term, the mayor will save the city $116,682 by not taking those benefits. $116,000. When you compare that to what he's requesting, which is a $30,000 increase for the next 4 years, $120,000. Basically, he is asking for $3,147 more than what he's already entitled to. Soak that in for a minute. He's asking for $3,000 more than what he's already entitled to. That's $32.79 a month. That breaks down to $1.11 per day. That's not much, but it's the facts. Now, if you want the breakdown before you leave, we can give it to you. I've done all the math, but just to get that out of the way, because everyone seems to think he has all these benefits, but, excuse me, he has declined them from the beginning. So actually, when you vote and you're considering it, you're voting on $1.11 per day over an 8-year period, or $32.79 a month, when you look at it like that. So that, I hope, will lay this to rest, whether you vote for it or not. There are approximately 170 items, line items, on this budget, and we have discussed one for 2 months. We haven't talked about the quality of the water. We haven't talked about that you never have sewer problems. The streets we addressed tonight for the first time. So the point is, let's not get hung up on the one thing that's not really going to affect the quality of your life when you go home tonight and lay your head down. But these things will. The rest of this budget is vital to the operation of the city. You know, right now we're waiting to buy things until this budget gets passed. We're waiting. Now, I think you'll see a big difference between this budget and the previous versions you've been given since June 30th, for those of you who have looked at it. Ms. Lois, to address your question, those are our summer workers. Those are lifeguards at the swimming pool. They are the athletic program at one of the gyms.
We need 58 people.
Well, when you add them all up, is that number correct?
About 23, 25.
I got the list you gave me, Julia.
You're looking at the rec. Also,
Recreation.
some of those guys back there, the city workers, they do work at the park, which is rec. It doesn't necessarily mean the rec department that you're thinking it is.
Also, the athletic director that was added last year, that goes under those salaries as well.
Right. We've got 5 coaches at $200 a week, 3 coaches at $250 a week. We've got your commissioner at $6,500 a year. You've got 39 park and recs hired from $529 to $619. I
Just the
understand
lifeguards alone.
you need that
are
many.
Quite a few.
You need that many.
I think that there's, close to 20 lifeguards.
I'm gonna actually get recognized before you speak again.
I thought she was talking to me.
All right, I'm gonna actually get recognized before you speak again. I'm not recognizing, she's at the floor.
Okay.
The point is, that these are the summer workers. A few of them help with the street department. I think we had 4, 5, 6 this year that work with the streets.
And they're listed in the Parks and Recreation payroll? She's talking to me.
Right.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yes, we put our summer workers in there because they're temporary, and they're just here for a certain period of time, and they all grouped in there together.
Did you realize that it's almost $20,000 a month plus whatever it costs in Social Security and insurance and everything just for these
Well,
summer people?
The insurance is not applicable to these. Basically, it's just your FICA. But we do realize it, but it's a public service at the same time to have those swimming pools open. You know, not everybody's got one at home now. To have something for the kids to do when they go to the athletic program.
Okay, so there's
So-
39 lifeguards?
No. I don't have the list in front of me, not 39 lifeguards.
I have a list.
I can give you an exact breakdown, but
I have a list.
was it 39 this year?
No, that's-
I wasn't here this
She
summer,
looking
so.
at she looked at the total of all summer work here.
Okay.
We did not have that many lifeguards. We
So you have
them
your
here and there.
lifeguards, you have, the program at the gym where.
You have lifeguards
where
at
kids
two
that work
pools.
under the soda and them that
You have
that
some on
sit
the
there.
street.
We have some in the street department, so they're spread out.
Okay, but in 2 years, the salaries went up $40,000. In 2 years.
I would have to check those numbers. Now, I know that, now remember, the athletic director was added in there, and that's a $15,000 per year increase.
And that
Okay,
wasn't-
but
that's
that still leaves.
first year.
Please.
Pardon me?
Get recognized.
There's no athletic director.
It's still budgeted for, and she's referring to this summer, and I believe there was one this summer.
Okay.
They directly budget that.
But I don't understand why the budget for the salaries has increased $40,000 in 2 years.
In the Parks and Recreation?
In the Parks and
I'll have to just sit
Recreation
down and
salary.
show you the breakdown of it.
I
And
mean, that's a lot of
we'll go
money
department
in
by
2 years.
department.
In just salaries.
We'll go department by department because they are in so many different locations. And I may not have even named all of them, I'm just doing that off the top of my head.
Pretty close.
Pretty good.
You're right.
Okay, and the
The
$80,000,
fines.
yeah.
The next question, and this is a question that I knew a lot of people would have, was the fines in the general fund revenue. The fines, basically what that is for the public who may not know, this is what our portion, or the city's portion, of what we receive from the police department's fines, speeding tickets, any violations that they have. Now, we took a look at surrounding cities and cities that are very proactive. Chief Wilhite feels like that, and if you've paid attention, and you may have been stopped, I was stopped myself, they are being very proactive. In the last 2 months, they've doubled what was done last year in that same period of time. The city of Fairview of Vidalia brings in $85,000 a month in speeding tickets because they are so proactive. Now, let me make this clear. This is not to say that the citizens should be worried that he's trying to give tickets to everyone. They're just going to enforce the law.
They bring in how much? I didn't understand what you said.
They bring in about $85,000 a month.
Really?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And like I said, we've already doubled. I think this month they wrote 118 tickets. And this time last year, that was about 40. So it's quite an increase already.
So it's going to go, you project that it's going to go from 60,000 to 150,000 in 1 year.
Based on his proactive plan and these 2 months of history that we have. If you take the calculations, fine by fine, because they change, obviously. Yes, that's a very accurate projection. Now, they have to be proactive and get out there and do it, but these 2 months have shown that they are doing it. So, and I think the chief feels confident.
Councilwoman Katie.
My financial reports that were given to me reflect that in June, we had $3,900 worth of tickets. July, we had $3,700 worth of fines, fines.
Okay,
August, we had 0. And we cut his budget by $37,000.
now, remember, the fines that you're seeing on that financial report are not going to coincide with the number of tickets written in that particular month. Number one, you get a ticket, you have so many days to pay that ticket. Some people go pay it the next day. A lot of people wait till the very last day. Or they go to court, and then there's more time. So you can look at, sometimes there could be up to a 90-day delay between the time the ticket is written, the time it's paid for, and then turned into City Hall. What you're seeing on your financial report is what we received. So what we received in July could be from April, May, because it has to go through the entire process. Does that make sense?
Because we had 0 fines received.
It's just a matter of when they send them over. If you look through last year's, you'll see a 0 month, and then this month will probably be like a double whammy to catch up. It's just when city court sends it over to us.
Councilman Gill.
I just want to clarify to the folks sitting out there, when we're talking about fines, I talked to Chief Wilhite about this. Our fines have been down for the past 8 years. And we're not talking about just traffic tickets. When somebody shoplifts, that's a fine that they're going to pay for that as well. Any crime is a fine. So it's not a quota type thing. We're out there stopping cars just to make money. We've got a proactive police chief. If you stop somebody for a seatbelt violation, we may find some pot in the car or something. So, I mean, that's kind of what's going on here. So we've been down. I don't think we haven't been as aggressive as we should have in the past 8 years, and we've got a man that wants to step up and make Winsboro a safer place. So I don't want people to get carried away with this dollar figure of fines, because the end result is a safer Winsboro, and that's what Chief Wilhite has in mind.
But you have to admit, a $90,000 increase in 1 year did seem somewhat unrealistic.
It does, but actually what was unrealistic were the low ones before. Those should have been higher. So if you look, like I said, surrounding towns, we were actually running very low before.
Incredible.
As far
We
as-
got a chief now wants to do his job.
Well said.
Huh?
Well said.
Okay, so I think we covered the fines. Mr. Tucker, I'm not going to go deep into what you said about with the sales tax fund, but I will let you know that we've been talking a lot in the last couple of weeks about how to be proactive and how to be more focused with our department heads on tracking their budgets on a monthly basis, just like you said. Of course, you can't just divide by 12 and know that every month's going to be the same, because when the ground starts to shift at a certain time of the year, I can't remember if it gets hot or cold and pipes burst more, then you're going to have, the water department is going to be up. But we have a proactive plan to include department heads really monitoring what they're spending, and more importantly, in the purchasing end of it, to bring our operational costs down. Because after calculating this budget, I'll tell you, you look at, for example, the street department has been operating on $100,000 for years. That is why they need new equipment. That is why we have to buy used, and then it breaks down in 6 months, this kind of thing. We're going to have to find a solution. The revenue, there's only so much that we can do, like with the police department being proactive. The sales tax, we're tied into that, that is by vote. But from the other end, from the cost savings, for the first time ever, there is a very proactive plan that will be implemented.
You addressing me?
I will.
Well, my philosophy is you know what the expenses are at the end of the month. You've spent the money, you've got the money, and you've got the actual figures for that month, and you can produce that to the council members. That's called a financial management report.
They do get that by month, budget versus actual, each month, and within the financial report. It shows them where we stand every month.
They're supposed to.
Well, yeah, the last few months have been a few hiccups, I think, but yes. They're up to date, got them all now, so. And of course, you know, at any time, if the public wants a copy of those things, you can request the City Hall. And for example, you can see how it's already being tracked, budget versus actual, monthly.
I have a question for her. Do you have to go through the process that I have to go through with the letter according to the Sunshine Law, or can you just go up there and request a copy of it?
Well, Julia probably could clarify this. It's best to put it in writing if you want copies, but the Larson Act that we operate under says that you can walk in at any time and have a look. If you want us to make copies and all of that for you, just got to give us a little time to gather it. But if you wanted to come and sit in front of the desk one day and ask some questions, that the Larson Act says you can do that in business hours. So,
But who do we talk to? We don't have a city clerk.
well, now that's a good question. So right now, I would send those emails to the mayor. And he can delegate accordingly. Okay, now I think I pretty much addressed those. To the council, what we did here, we looked at 4 years of historical data. We identified the trends. We considered what was coming up. We went into this with certain goals. Number one was to work with real numbers, justifiable numbers, numbers that had a history, or numbers that we could justify. And you'll see there's some changes from the previous one that you were given, some big changes. But we went into it, one, working with real numbers. Two, we did not want to do anything or cut anything that would affect the services to the public. You know, we take so much for granted. Your water's important, your sewer's important, the streets are important, all of that. So we didn't want to hurt any of those departments. We wanted to protect the employees that are out there working so hard. We managed to get those, their annual raises in. And to end up with a balanced budget with a bit of a surplus, and we have done that. Now, if you would have any questions about certain line items, I'll be happy to answer them, or why there have been changes in some of them.
You made a statement that the streets were not affected, yet their budget was 100 million. You said that the streets had not been affected, but yet you made a $130,000 change in their overall budget.
That's because we moved the superintendent. Stinson was actually listed in street department before, and now he is not. He is under utility system fund administrative. Now you're going to see, when you're looking at the salaries, you're going to see some changes like that throughout. There are several reasons. That is one big one. Last year, for example, Julia was in the utility system fund. She is now being paid from the general fund. We took one. There are only a few people that can be paid from either fund. That's the superintendent, because he covers both. The clerk's position, because it covers both. And the guys out at the shop, because they cover both areas. So we did some rearranging there that was most beneficial. And then the manning scale in general has changed. We've had some retirees. We had a gentleman retire last year, so that was a big change. We took out that high salary came out, and an entry-level salary came in. That was in the street department. So that's going to be there's quite a few changes like that. Maybe a couple of people change from one department to the next, to another. So that's why there may be some inconsistencies there. But specifically for this street, it was mostly Mr. Stinson.
Are y'all replacing the ones that people retire, or are y'all, depending on, like, guys from the detention center to fill in for their employees?
We do use crews from the detention center, and they, thank God for Sheriff Cobb, because they are a great help to us. He's very
Well, I know
good.
there's some things they can't do.
Right, exactly. Heavy machinery operators and that kind of thing.
But to answer this question, no, they do not replace retirees, no, sir.
That's what I was wondering.
No, sir.
Council?
I want to ask the mayor, I remember when we were going to LMA meetings and they had somebody was investing in retirement fund for the police, for the employees, and it almost went broke, and it went up on us, the retirement percentage went way up on us. Is it still like that?
It climbs every year.
How big?
The retirements, well, quite a bit. We work with 3 systems. We work with the fighter system, the police system, and everybody else, which is just the municipal employees. The municipal employees only went up, 1 point this year. But fire and police, because of the nature of their job, it's quite high, what we pay for them. The police is...
Police is 31.5%, for hazardous cops, non-hazardous is 33.5%, regular retirees is 19.75%, and fire department is 27.25%.
So it's a considerable amount when you look at those salaries, especially with the police
Are they
department.
still going up a little bit every year?
And they go up a little bit every year. We're seeing they go up about a point every year.
5% every year?
They go up anywhere from, well, this year, mayors went up
From
1,
18.75 to 19.75.
and what about the other 2? They both increased.
Police went from 31 to 31.5.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you said it went up 5%.
Oh, no. No, not that much. Thank God.
That might rub it down.
Thank God. Any other councilman?
Yes, the lady in the back.
Jump in.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to know, is there a budget cut for spraying in community for mosquitoes? Because I haven't been seeing the truck, and mosquitoes are really getting bad.
The truck is operating, if you don't have any answer. The truck is operating, and it's out there, I think, what, 2 or 3 nights a week?
We run 2 nights a week since way back on 1st of July.
They are spraying, but they're not, it's not as much coming out the back end of the truck. Spraying is like it used to be, and the guy driving a lot faster than I've noticed that.
Ms. Jordan?
Oh, I was just gonna say they are sprayed, because I was sprayed the other day walking on the street. And I was glad it wasn't as, he's spraying, I guess, a reasonable amount. So they are sprayed.
It's not as thick as it used to be.
The reason for the fog not being as much, we changed chemicals, it don't take as much volume.
Okay. Well, I didn't know that.
We will
It
change
wasn't
after
much.
this season, we got a rotation system, so that they won't build up a resistance to the
Philip, he used to drive slower.
His foot got heavy. I'll put a throttle on him.
That's some of those trucks that need to be fixed. Council?
Yes, Kelly.
As you know, I've been an outspoken critic of the mayor's proposed salary increase, and with this revelationary information that you've got us tonight, my opinion may have changed. I do have a question, though, And that is why, with all the, thank you. Since, as you said, it's been the main issue of the new budget, why is it just popping up tonight instead of in months past?
Because I wasn't here. I don't know. I really don't know why they didn't bring it up.
So we have to have you answer basic fundamental
No,
questions on fiscal decision making for the city of Winsboro.
No, sir. Not at all. But on this particular thing, you know, when I heard everyone talking about it, I thought, well, does everyone know that he doesn't take the benefits? I don't know why they didn't mention it. I don't know if it was a matter of...
Question number 2.
Okay.
Yes, but there is still a $9,000 expense account.
There is, and I'm glad that you brought that up, because what goes onto that $9,000 expense account, and if I remember correctly, you spent 8 last year, maybe?
No, 9.
The full 9? What goes into that are very specific things. Gasoline in the mayor's car, any maintenance on that vehicle, if there's a conference attended, it doesn't go into just the administrative, like if the rest of them go to a conference, that all goes under administrative. And in the past, it did, but it has now been separated out. So there are his continuing education, gasoline, car maintenance, and if he takes someone to lunch, and that's pretty much it. Or if someone passes away and he orders flowers.
Gotcha. Last question, if I may. In light of the fact that the mayor's lack of participation in the benefits and retirement programs are saving us how much? 116,000?
116,852. I should put on my glasses. $852.40.
Yearly?
4 years.
No.
40.
No. Over an 8-year period.
Oh,
First
okay.
and second term.
All right.
The savings will be 116,852.
Okay, so there is that savings, and my math in my mind is failing at the moment. So it's $116,000 over the 8-year, 2-term period.
Correct.
Well, in light of that, which that is a savings to be appreciated, we're still going into the reserves, or we're still going into the town reserve, and it's still going down. Do we have? Do we know? Even though we've reduced expenses on the mayor, technically, or on a net fashion, we have a net reduction of expense on our mayor. We're still going into the reserve then for more than an average of $250,000 a year. Is that going to stop?
Now, I wanted to clarify something, because I had a question for you when you said it before. When you said going into the reserve, that is not, we are not going into the CDs that are in the bank at all. The reserve fund is the reserve and the sales tax and occasionally the industrial fund. I think the reason you've seen a lot in the last couple of years is because of our matches for things where we receive grants and we have to put up a certain match. Progress, basically. Progress. I went back and looked at it when this came up just to see exactly where the overspending was and how much it was. And most of it is things like these capital outlay things. I can tell you just last year, I can give you an example.
Well, everything is here on the 3 items in capital outlay.
For this year.
In the budget you just handed out.
Right, exactly. And that is for a reason. That's for a reason, because last year we had a very heavy capital outlay year. We had, for example, these are just things we run into. City Hall, we started out $5,000. We were going to paint it, spruce it up, and make it look a little bit better. We tapped into mold. And you know what happens when you deal with mold. So that became, I think, probably a $17,000 project.
Okay.
So little things like that add up. I can tell you,
All right, let's just keep the question simple. Is the reserve gonna be depleted, or are we gonna keep going that way, or are we gonna build it back up?
my personal opinion or the plan? The plan is the plan I was telling Mr. Tucker about. There is a proactive plan in place to be implemented for the first time. And I think it's at the top of the list of priorities to make sure that we don't dip it. People are more aware of it now. And we've done so with the progress. And this is another thing. You know, there was mention of not with the summer help, but why do we have more employees than we had a few years ago? Well, we have more police protection than we had a few years ago. You know, a lot of this, folks, is just progress and not bad spending. Now, I'm not saying that we don't overspend on something as a city. That would be silly for me to stand up here and say that. But the big numbers and the big money are being spent on progress. But look at your capital outlay for this year. We're having a slow year. You know, bring it down. That's part of that proactive plan.
Why you on capital outlay? I don't see anything in there.
Bobby, she has a hand back there.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I have a question regarding that. I was hired as athletic director for $10,000 a year, and then I was added on to do the community center for $5,000 extra. In this budget, is this athletic director that you said is budgeted for? Is it budgeted for the $10,000 or for the $15,000? And the reason why I'm asking is because now you have a community director that's making a whole lot more than the $5,000 a year. So is the athletic fund for the 15,000?
15,
or the 10,000?
and the community center is not a whole lot more than 5,000 this year. I think
But
that
did you budget the athletic director as 10,000 or 15,000? That's my question.
that's 15. And the cushion that was built in for the coverage of the community center was based on what I did was basically I took the number of events that we said we're going to make $15,000 in
But that's a
revenue.
whole different director now.
Right, but I'm telling you how that was calculated. And mostly you want to tell the council how that was calculated. I took the amount that we said we're going to bring in revenue, figured out how many events that was, did an average of 3 hours per event, because some she may be here 5 and some she may be here an hour, or not at all, depending on if it's a funeral repast or whatever it is. So we did an average. And I think you have a cushion in there of about $8,400 right now. We'll see how that runs. Yes, ma'am.
Bobby.
On capital outlay, I see that you don't have anything for fire or police. I know that got some police cars that look like that need to be replaced. Are y'all planning on buying any police cars this year? And if so, if y'all thought about buying another city fire truck, and we paid going on, I think in 5 years, I think it's $25,000 a year we paid to John, something like that. I know it's probably a little bit more than that now, but.
Well, over the last 4 years, about $50,000 has gone into the fire department and capital outlay.
Yeah, that's not gonna buy a fire truck. I'm talking about
Okay.
keeping the fire rating. You know, you always want to fight to keep the fire rating as is, or to try to go lower. You know, like Monroe's trying to hold on to one. You know, ours is what, a class 5?
Bobby, we just bought a fire truck.
Huh?
We just bought a fire truck.
We just bought one.
Town bought one?
Yeah, we just bought one a couple months ago.
Really?
And we're being very,
Used.
Really?
and we're being very
We just had a fire
proactive with
reading
grants.
last week.
Okay. Well, is George gonna get some new cars?
Well, he has not requested any. George always likes any cars. What we're doing with them, and to be honest, you know, I have to say again, not only do we need these things, we need some new trucks out there on the street, and we need some new equipment, and we need tractors that are new and aren't, you know, not third hand and that kind of thing. That is why we have to be so proactive in saving some money, so we can buy these things that we need. What we look at too in determining that, or the last couple of years since I've been around, is how much we're putting out each year on maintenance in those departments. For example, the fire department, they had a pretty good hit last year in their budget because they had so much maintenance on their vehicles.
Right.
They got a new fire truck. And
Well, I didn't know that.
we hope to get more yet. You should come see it, it's pretty.
Well, I'm talking about on police cars, I mean, they're, anything in emergency service can be, you know, that ought to become first.
Well, he's not requested any, so I'm assuming that right now he feels like they're in good shape, because I will have to say this about the council since I've been around. They don't say no to emergency services. You know, when any of these guys come and need something, they usually are happy to accommodate them.
Thank you, Amanda. This is,
Great job.
I have one more,
this has been enough.
I have one more comment.
Well, I'm going to turn it over to the council.
Okay. When you did the community center, did you look at the past time sheets to see that she was getting 2 hours most days?
Her question is, did I use past time sheets as a reference in calculating?
Because
No, ma'am, I
most
did
days
not.
she was getting 2 hours.
No, ma'am, on that particular one, I did not use history.
Okay.
I used reality. I used what it's going to take. I used, instead of a couple hours a day, several hours a week on the administrative part of that couple of hours a day. And we just tried to go with the most realistic number possible to cover the amount of revenue and functions that we said we were going to have.
At $24.77 an hour.
Right.
Council.
May I make a motion that we accept the budget, that we adopt the budget ending for July 1, 2014, June 30th, 2015.
It's been properly moved to accept the budget. And second. All in
Comment.
question?
Yeah, I have, I guess, a comment. First of all, we were given this information tonight to digest in just a matter of minutes. It's not truly fair for anybody. If this budget passes tonight, I feel as though it's a sad time for the city of Winsboro. I think it's sending out a message to anybody that wants to run for public office for personal gain and wants to run for the office of mayor, and that person has 3 council people in his pocket, he can name his price. That's what I said, 3 votes.
Who's in whose pocket? I'm informed on what you said. Who's in whose pocket?
I am speaking about the future of this town. I'm not talking about anything tonight.
You said 3 councils in his pocket. Use your words wisely.
I
I'm
will.
going on what your words
Rich,
are.
I don't interrupt you. Let me speak.
Just explain yourself.
I will, absolutely. I said that if this is a sad message for the citizens of Winsboro, if somebody wants to run for this office, wants to, in the future, if he's got 3 votes on this council, that person can name his price.
That's the way it's always been.
That's your opinion.
That's my opinion, Mr. Reader.
Your opinion.
That's your opinion.
Ms. Gill, I've got to say, I'm not in anybody's pocket.
Tell me,
I didn't say anybody at this time was in a pocket.
You insinuating that I'm in his pocket, I'm not in his pocket. I don't have to be in his pocket.
3 in his back pocket.
I'm not talking about
It's not Lois Jordan.
I'm not talking about this mayor, I'm talking about the
Order.
future of
Well,
Winsboro.
you said 3.
said.
Well, that's what he said, we didn't call him name.
Order.
Mr. Gill, I have a question about the other item. When you
order.
say it'll be a set,
We have a motion and a second on the floor. All in favor, raise your right hand. All opposed, raise your right hand. Let the record reflect that the motion passed. Item number 7. Resolution number 14-0901, adoption of the millage rate for the tax year of 2014. Okay, I get that one. Okay, I skipped one. Number 5. That's what I just read. That was number 5.
Oh, okay.
That was number 5. I did.
It's time to adopt the millage rate for the tax year 2014. The rates are the same, nothing has changed.
So moved.
Properly moved. And second. All in favor, say aye. Item number, let the record reflect that are there any opposed? Let the record reflect that it's unanimously approved. Item number 6, resolution number 14-902, amendment of budget, water plant.
Council, what we have here is, we had a motor go out on the well number 5, and we called the company that does our well service. They came, pulled the motor, found we had a bad motor. And then they went to find out the reason why that motor was bad. And the reason it's bad because the screens in our well had stopped up from the manganese that comes through that well. And they suggested to scrub it out or flush it. We done decided on a flush system. And what's included here in your price is to replace the motor, rework the pump, and come in and do the flushing out of the well, so we shouldn't have a problem for several more years. That is the reason for this expense on this well. Okay?
Councilman Gill.
What fund will this $37,000 come out of? Where do we get the money?
This will be utility fund and water plant.
Okay, but this is in addition to the budget we passed? This
Yes,
is
sir.
an amendment
Please
to
make
it.
the amendment, yes, sir.
And it's a utility fund, which we have a $50,000 cushion, so we're taking $37,000 out of that.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
What is your pleasure?
May I make a motion that we accept resolution 14-0903 to amend the, 002, to amend the budget to the water plant.
Properly moved. And second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Let the record reflect that it's unanimously approved. 14-0903, amendment to the budget airport.
What this is we've been discussing with the city council members and during the council meetings, the airport shop building, it's in such condition right now, it presents it's a hazard. Skipper is aware of it. We have some doors out there. We had to rope it off and put barricades around it so no one can get close to it. This building here needs renovation and repair so it can be leased out and for the city to generate money. We have been working on the airport and in the last several years, not just 8 years, 10, 12 years, the city has not generated any income from the airport itself. Beginning this year, we are generating income from the airport. those funds that are generated from the airport will go back into the airport fund to do these projects. But right now, we have a project out there that needs to be done, and it's going to cost us approximately $50,000 to do this, to put the new roof on the building, put the doors on the building, and make it presentable to be leased out. We're looking at the possibility of a lease going out at a range that it could repay for itself within 3 years. We would recover the money for that. Yeah, that's, again, I always say, and I will continue to say, none of this is, in stone. You don't really know how much money you're going to get from the building, but at least you will have. Go ahead.
Mayor, Billy, this amendment is for the card system, computer system that we're talking about now.
The airport?
At the airport.
Yes, sir.
It's still at the airport, yes, sir.
Still the airport, but
Okay.
we've got quotes for the.
Okay, well, this is something that we had talked about, and I said, I didn't have that information on there. But the card system, to get on that is, we are looking at the fuel situation out there. We have not sold any fuel, from the airport, for ever since we have paid thousands and thousands of dollars to install the underground tank and the fuel system. That money has been going somewhere else. Right now, the city of Winsboro is taking over that operation. We're going to sell fuel out there, and it's going to be on a credit card system whereby that the city will generate profits from the sale of that fuel. And making it accessible to anyone who flies in there to buy fuel. And doing this, we're looking at a price for doing that was $15,000.
13,323.96.
Yeah, 13.323.96 to be able to do that. And unless we do that, we will not be able to generate any revenue. And on top of that, it is a mandate by the state that we get some fuel fees from the airport itself. Go ahead.
Which fund will this 13,000 come out of?
It will have to come out of the general fund. It would have to come out of the fund from the general fund to be able to do this.
We got a 9,000.
At the present time, once there's revenue that's built up that can compensate for that, it would come out of the airport fund. But the airport fund, we do not have enough money at the present time.
Does the city get a fee from these cards, or when people
Oh,
buy?
yeah. You buy, it's just like going to the filling station and buying fuel. We pay $4 and we charge $4.25 per gallon. And in the past, the city has been paying for all the maintenance and upkeep on the fuel system itself. Am I correct about that, Superintendent?
Can I ask a question?
But you have a question pertaining to what we're talking about, Bobby? Yes, you do.
Is there anybody in that building where, the guy that used to build airplanes? Oh, there is.
Yeah.
London's still there?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought he left.
No.
Guess I need to get out more.
What is your pleasure?
I shouldn't have said that.
May I make a motion to accept resolution 140903, amendment to the budget airport?
It's been properly moved.
Second.
And second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Let the record reflect that it's unanimously approved. Meyer.
Only 3 projects to talk about tonight. One in the planning stages is the 2015 street improvement project. I think Mr. McGuffey had given y'all a map at the last council meeting.
Tony, can you use the mic? Please, I can't hear you. Where is it?
It's laying right here.
Only 3 projects to talk about tonight. I got it.
None.
I might save the voice too. Thank you. Only 3 projects to talk about tonight. The first one is in the planning stage, and that is the 2015 street improvement project. I think Mr. McGuffey had given y'all a map at the last council meeting of streets that had been completed to date, and then proposing additional streets for inclusion in the 2015 project. And I don't think the decisions have been made yet. I don't know if you've had time to look at the streets in your district, see if you're happy with them yet, but we will be getting with each of you individually to make sure that the streets that you want included are included in that bid package. The second project is in design, and that is the Adams and Common Street sidewalk project. That's it's a DOTD Transportation Alternative Program project. It's funded 95% of construction is paid for by the state and 5% by the town. And we've completed the preliminary plans on that, received DOTD's comments back, and final plans will go out this week. So that one's moving forward. The other project is under construction, and that is the 8th Street enhancement project. And that, I think the base course work has been done on the south side of 8th, and they'll be putting asphalt down on that side of the street either tomorrow or the following day. And then drainage work is about 90% complete. They'll move over to the other side of the street, and my expectation is they got about another 2.5 weeks worth of work. Were there any questions? Yes, ma'am.
Can you hear me okay? I'm sorry. Okay, in the budget, there's $500,000 for streets for this year. Yet we have our anticipated revenues coming in. 700, vaguely thereabout. And we have 1.8 million in the bank. Will we, in reality, only spend $500,000, or will we
The way that
have a project?
the way that he's explained it to me, when you look at the whole outlay of the whole thing, some of it will fall in this fiscal year, and some of it will fall at the end of next summer, which will be in your next fiscal year's budget.
Approximately. I'm thinking Blue Street, so I'm thinking mile, but I know we don't have streets that are miles in the city. Can you give some estimation of, like, it costs $2,400 per square foot or something? I mean, I'm trying to get in my mind, being a new council person, about what we're looking at being able to do.
Let me get some numbers together for you to look at so that you'll have an idea of, if I look at the average width of a city street, and I can tell you that it is $75 a foot or $100 a foot. And really, you got to realize that it depends, too. Sometimes utilities have to be relocated, and that adds to it. Sometimes, if it's a curb and gutter street, you got to mill the asphalt off before you put new asphalt down, so the gutter lines match. So sometimes it's just a straight overlay. Sometimes you got to mill asphalt off. Sometimes it's a total reconstruction where you've got to scarify the base course and
Right, and go back. So
Well, I wouldn't want to come in.
depending on the condition of the street, I can still get you something that'll give you a good idea
I just
that
don't
would
want
answer
to
your
come in
question.
and ask for 4 streets when in reality I can only get one. You know, I'd like to just have a little education.
Okay. I'd be glad to hear you.
Mayor, are we gonna let that priority, change that new priority, go to the street department, let the street department come back to the rest of the council? As we wanna change those priorities, we wanna reprioritize those streets as the ones that need it right now, as how we did it, when we first passed this tax, when we first came out. It seemed like some now probably became, more now needing to be improved than others was over 4 years ago. So we're gonna let that go before the committee and then come back to the council.
I have no objections. You see anything on here?
No, that's actually the way that they're planning.
Okay.
That's what's But the thing you gotta bear in mind is this project is 6 years old now, and the streets that were in one condition then, by the project, they're way worse shape now, so some of them should move up, some of them may not, but that's what you gotta bear in mind.
Jefferson, I'm going to get one of the streets that she wanted to do, what she was talking about.
Okay.
Well, I had one I wanted out. Last week, I had one I wanted out. not even.
Yeah, I think that he left one out that they talked about.
Okay.
Mayor, can I ask Tony
Yes.
a question? Or is it figured in there that, in the streets, like, Skipper, y'all got streets that, y'all have problem with water line, water leak? Is that figured in there to replace those water lines? That they have a lot of problems? I know they got plenty, changing out some, but, that they have problems with. But is there any money in there to keep you from blacktopping and then turn around, come back and fix another water leak on the same lines that been leaking before?
We have done some pretty significant utility. We have done some pretty significant utility relocations and upgrades along with this street project. It really had. There was drainage money built into it, a minor amount of drainage money, and we also had an allowance in there for utilities, and we're trying to catch those as we go.
Thank you.
Thank you. What is your pleasure?
Make a motion.
Yes, question?
No, make a motion that we accept this report.
It's been properly moved. Second, all in favor, say aye. I'm going to skip item number 9. Brother George is not here tonight, our airport manager. Item number 10, Public Works monthly report. Do you have it?
If you don't mind,
I don't mind a bit.
I talked to Brother George this afternoon, and I wanted to bring to your attention on his behalf, and I would like to say I apologize for me not knowing what's going on, but I've asked for the resolutions, and I have not been able to receive those, and I need to look at those resolutions so I won't look like an idiot. Okay, when I get up here, and I'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But I want to let everybody know that Lightning struck the control center of the airport gate for the TSA security system. It has it totally burned it out, and now we are having to enter and exit from the manual gate on the south side of the hangar, going into there. I also wanted to bring to your attention that I want you to consider what I just talked about the airport shop hangar building. That we'll bring that back to your attention and ask for your support on that. We've talked to the airport committee on these issues, and then we're going to set up a meeting at y'all's convenience to give you a tour to let you know when and what's going on at the airport. We're making great progress at the airport lighting system. They are doing an outstanding job. Superintendent is aware of that. We should be real close to the timeline on that in October. be complete. The runway is continued to be shut down, and it will stay shut down until for takeoffs and landings until this has been completed. And we are trying to get all of this other stuff done in the airport that needs to be done to make it a successful and a progressive and aggressive airport where we can generate revenue during this period of time. And so that's why it's important that we do that. If you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer from the city council members on behalf of Brother George.
They have asked that the city of Winsboro take over the maintenance on the water mains and services coming up to the meters and the sewer mains and manholes themselves. To my knowledge, there's only one item that hadn't been completed. There's a manhole that's covered with asphalt, and I've asked them to remove that, and that's the only item that I know of that would cause us not to accept it at this point in time. So that's what the folks that own Gary Street Village have presented to us. They've done the project by our specification. They use the material we asked them to use, pipe fittings and everything. So watch them throughout the project and everything is what we've asked them to do. But this is the only item that I know that would prevent us from taking it over.
Should we wait and do this? I'm sorry. Or should we do it contingent on the bid?
The manhole's covered up is the main one feeding that place. So I wouldn't accept it until that's done, is what I was suggesting.
Have they given us a time frame? Have they given us a time frame they will have that?
Well, no, they have not. I did request that last week on a couple more items that I talked to them about. And one of the reasons that needs to be transferred over is what's happening is they're having water leaks, which normally would be our side of the meter. Well, we're wasting water. And the only solution is we go valve off each one of them. And we don't want to do that because we don't need no stale water in the water system. You know, that goes against our DHX regulations. So I've actually contacted these folks to ask them that we do this. But this is one thing that they haven't done yet is to uncover that manhole. So whatever y'all's decision is, I can touch base back with them tomorrow, next day, and let them know what the council action was.
We should wait, like Kay say, wait till they uncover that manhole. And until they uncover that manhole, then we'll look at taking over that those items. And that would make them completed.
That's right.
We asked for.
But once we ever accept it, I'm gonna tell you, you're not gonna get them to come in and do anything else. Sure not. Sure.
I'll make a motion that we table this request until it is determined.
Say it again, Ms. Kay.
Let me finish.
Yes, that was my last item.
What is your pleasure?
She's making a motion to table the Gary Street request revenue.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Let the record reflect that it's unanimously approved. Now we will, I'll accept the motion to accept the report.
I make a motion to accept the Public Works monthly report.
I second.
Properly moved and second. All in favor, say aye. Record reflect that unanimously approved. Fire Chief monthly report.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. I would like to say that we had our water shuttle last week, and it come out real good. We don't have the results back yet, but we did real great on the water hauling evaluation. We got one of the stumps that was out of our control, and that was a generator. We've been working some 4 or 5 months trying to get it done, but it should be here pretty soon. As far as the houses, there's one private dwelling in town, for a total of 22 this year. We had We've only had 3 mobile homes, but none this month. We've had 7 vehicles, none this month. We've had 1 grass and brush fire for a total of 45 for the year. We've had 4 rescues in town, 3 out of town, for a total of 12 for this year. We had 1 machinery fire outside the city, there's only 1 for the year. We've had 1 nursing home, hospital call, but I don't know if it's a nursing home or hospital, I just have the report. It's the number that we've had for 1. We had 2 businesses, a total of 8 for the year. We had 1 helicopter assist for a total of 6 for the year. We had 4 fire alarms in town, 1 out of town, 23 for the year. We had 1 storage building for a total of 1 for the year. And have any for this month, but we've had 1 for the year. We had 4 rescues for this month. I'm sorry, that's a service call for this month. And 0 outside the city for 15 this year. We've had 1 mutual aid for a total of 5. 1 fireworks standby for a total of 1 for the year, none for this month. We've had 1 fire alarm for a total of 4 this year. We've had 3 miscellaneous calls in town, 4 out of town, for a total of 8 this year. Had a total of 20 for this month, 11 for last out of town, a total of 162 calls this year. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
I make a motion we accept the fire chief notice report.
Properly moved
I second it.
and second. All in favor, say aye. Oh, did you have a question?
No, I just wanted to make a comment. If I
Comment.
could. Chief Oto put his demonstration on Facebook, and it was absolutely amazing to watch the coordination between our guys in getting that done. The whole thing was just, everybody had their part, and they did what they had to do. It makes us all proud.
He said that you're supposed to do it within 5 minutes. It's the fastest he's ever seen, except for 1 time. Was 3 minutes and 45 seconds, and my guys done it in 1 minute and 51 seconds.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposes? Record reflect. Police Chief, monthly report.
Hi there, one day. For the month of 8/18 through 9/14/14, we had 64 criminal charges, total for the year 435. Traffic charges, I'm pinpointing some of them out. We work in the speed zone, the school zone, real hard here. We have 24 speeding zones in the school zone, 32 speeding tickets. No child restraint, we had 3, and handicap parking, we had 4. Total traffic is 116 for the month. Total for the year 407. Highway accidents, we had 16. Parking lot 8. Total for accidents for the month is 24. Calls for service for the year 444. I like to say that right now I'm working with what I have. I'm working with 7 million when I should have 11 million. I'm 4 million short. So maybe when I'm counting in the process of hiring someone, I have 1 man in Afghanistan. He's in the National Guard, so he was called to go overseas. But when you hire someone, you got to be real careful about who you put a gun on. So I got some applications, but we're looking through them real because you can't put a gun on anybody. And we're dealing with other people's lives, we're protecting other people's lives. So saying so, like Councilman Gill was saying just now, it's not all about, we don't want y'all to think we write these tickets all about money, it's about the safety. Because I feel like, I feel for sure that when we, uphold the law and write these speeding tickets, it cut down on accidents and wrecks. When you cut down on wrecks, you cut down on people getting killed and people getting hurt. And this is nothing against women, but we have a lot of women who love to drive. And I want y'all to tell your friends, it's going to be enforcement. They love to drive their kids in their house. On steering wheel, we are writing tickets for it.
Amen.
Because you would think you let them stay in your house. You see it all the time. It's not all about money, it's about safety. School zone, same way, it's about protecting our kids. Make sure they get to school safe and come back safe. Handicap, I want to say I have several people walking to you, at Walmart and work and complain about they're not able to get out, older people not able to get out of the building because you got a young person in good health parking in these. So we're enforcing that too. And I want to do something while we're here. I got 3 officers here tonight that I want to recognize as a promotion, if it's okay with the mayor.
Yes, yes.
And when I come, like, I'm coming, Officer Dawg, Officer Free, and Officer Shaw. Y'all come up. Back when I was hired 22 years ago, Chief Reynolds, former chief, he had a ranking system back then. And it kind of made the department run a lot smoother. We have a chain of command. And I always wanted, and after, Mitch was gone, they kind of went away, but I always wanted to bring it back. I just want to present these certificates to these 3 officers. I'm going to start with Tammy. Tammy has been here 24 years. I have worked with her 22 years, and I'm going to tell you something. There's no greater person you could work with. And all officers at the police department say the same thing about her. She's always there for everyone. And she keeps you getting in trouble too. When you do your paperwork, she goes through your paperwork, she double checks. If you got a phone, I don't care if you're at home in bed, she gonna call you. That's just her. If you call her, she answers your phone call. If she don't answer, she will return your phone call. She's good about that. But I want to say that Tammy does the job at this department that the other department got 3 women doing. She does it all by herself. She don't complain. She doesn't have to. I appreciate you, Tammy. I really do, and I have really enjoyed working with you. And I hope we work together many more years. Tammy has been a corporal ever since. Yeah, when Chief Reynolds was here. Tonight I am promoting her to sergeant. Chris Shaw. Me and Chris Shaw have worked together for 15 years. He's been faithful. He's come to work. He's really been a good asset to it. He don't mind doing his job, and he know everybody. You can call. Officers always come and say, such person. I said, go ask Chris Shaw. He just know everyone. He's been here 15 years. He's been faithful. And Chris is my assistant chief of police. We haven't had an assistant chief of police in 8 years. When Chief Reynolds was in office, we had a ranking system, we had a chief. But now I'm trying to bring that back because I want to motivate my men and my women to want to come to work, and when they come to work, do a good job. And some of them, to be honest with you, some of them feel like some of them feel like, we come to make money, but some of them just love their job. They love doing what they do. And there's nothing better than you put a badge on a person They really like doing their job. They love doing their job. Not just to say, I got a uniform and a badge on. So I appreciate Mr. Shaw.
He's done a good job.
We have Jonathan Doyle here. Jonathan Doyle been with us 5 years. And I'm going to say this about Jonathan Doyle. He loves policing and he don't mind doing his job. I'm going to tell you about him. I done had a lot of people come to me and say, that Jonathan Doyle, man, he ain't playing. You know, and some of them say, you got to get to know him because he come to you, he's straightforward. And I can respect that. You know, and I had some come to me at first, they thought, oh man, Jonathan, man, he's something. Then they come back and say, man, Jonathan, he's pretty cool, man, you know. But I like to say, I appreciate you working with you for 5 years. He come in, and he never stopped since he been here. I mean, he works, he do his job, he don't dodge no work. I mean, he come out and work. And I'm going to say this a while, but I got some other officers that's up for promotion. But right now, I'm short-handed, and when I get my staff back up, then I'll take care of those guys. But I want to say to y'all that I have a good staff. When I ask someone to do something, they do it. I mean, I don't have no problem to do it. I mean, we straight up with each other. They got a problem, I tell them to come with me. We'll get together, and we'll straighten it out. I want to get to the point where we one big family. You know, where we can work together, look out for each other. I want them, because the way my officers perform in the street reflects back on me. And the way I do my job reflects back on them. So I want us to be a big family and do a good job for the citizens of Williamsburg. That's my. So if we out there riding ticket, you see a lot of blue lights. Don't think it's about money. It's about safety. That's all it's about. So at this time, I want to give Officer Doyle this certificate. This is my lieutenant.
Yes, sir.
And I would like to say to those that supported me and didn't support me in the election, I thank all of you, and I love all of you, and I appreciate. If you got any concern, feel free to come to my office. If I'm not there, leave a message. I will return your phone call. Now, if I return your phone call, you don't answer, that's on you. But I will return the phone call. I do return the phone call sometimes, then I never answer. But I will return phone calls. My door is always open to anyone. I don't care how big, how small. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. You know, my door is always open.
Wow, man.
And I appreciate y'all. Good job.
What is your pleasure?
Motion to accept the
Properly moved to accept. Second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Let the record reflect that it's unanimously approved. Humane Officer's Monthly Report.
Thank you, Mayor. Number dog, docket 1, 34 for the year. Claim 3, 22 for the year. Foster 5, 39 for the year. Total new dogs 21. 2 new cats. Total handle for the month 40. In the pen 19. Total for the year 219. Got a correction on the last part. It say 9, but it's 11. Total animals in the pen is 21 instead of 19. Miscellaneous 1. 500 pounds of dog food.
Mayor, you said we got the opinion exterminated from those spiders.
What is your pleasure?
I move that we accept the Humane Officer's report.
Been properly moved and second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Let the record reflect that it was unanimously approved. Economic and Development.
Now, I need to say something. Maybe I know what I'm talking about. I just want to let everybody know that everyone has really been asking a lot of questions about the farmer's market. We did get the fire marshal's approval today. We got the confirmation that they have approved the plans and specifications. Now we will be working with the city council to authorize the mayor to enter into some bid process works on that to make sure that this project can be completed, and hopefully that it is completed by the Catfish Festival week, Skipper. I really don't know, depending on the weather of what it's going to be. Also, I'd like to say that we've been working with several other companies, and everything looks good for the city. It looks like that we have companies out there right now that is very interested in Winsboro and interested in our industrial park, and I'm very pleased with that. I'd be more than happy to answer any questions that you may have. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Billy. Bobby.
What about the trade school going up there? Are they going, do they own any of the property they on either side of it for parking? Or are they
No,
gonna
they,
buy
at
that?
the present time, that's still owned by Ron Ashley, the corporation there that's in bankruptcy. And this year, Attorney Singer and I, we're working on it presently to recapture that property where it will revert back to the ownership of the city. The city has committed, and the city council has committed to donate the property on the north side for a parking facility for the Delta Community College. We're pleased with that. We're pleased with the progress that they're making with Delta Community College. We're very pleased with the amount of contributions private contributions that was made to make that possible and to put that facility up there. Also, I would like to say that Bobby, you had asked a question about the fire trucks. Well, the fire truck chief's been working on that, and we submitted LCDBG, Louisiana Community Development Block Grant application for the fire truck. The city only had to put $5,000 up as a matching fund. We did that. The city did that, matched the funds. We have received, last week, we received the money from the state for that fire truck. It's back in the coffers of the city.
That's good.
Thank you, Billy. What is your pleasure?
Make a motion.
It has been moved in second. All in favor, say aye. Community Center monthly report has been, are you good?
I have it.
You have it.
Ms. McCarthy apologizes for not being here. She's out of town, but there were 4 events in the month of August, 3 paid and 1 continuing education. There was a wedding, a gala, and a party, and then there was the Louisiana Rural Water Association, which was continuing education for our guys, and that was all for the month of August.
What is your pleasure?
Motion to accept the,
Been properly moved to accept.
Say something about the-
Excuse me?
I'd like to say something. We can all second the motion, but I'd like to say something.
Okay.
In the future, could, even if Ms. McCarthy's not going to be here, could you please furnish us with the report?
Okay.
And I'll second the motion.
Is that with all of them, airport too? All of them? They didn't get one either.
I'm not hearing. What?
She sent one. She sent it to my phone, but I could not print it out before I left. But she did send it.
If you know,
Airport didn't have one either. So
just print it and give me a copy. Either folks may mail it to me.
Properly moved, do I have a second? And second, all in favor, say aye. Opposes? Let the record reflect. Monthly financial report.
Everybody received their packets, should have been Wednesday night. Financial in it, so if y'all have any questions, Amanda and I are ready.
Yes.
I guess the question I have is, am I looking at the report? It indicates to me that the 3% pay increase for the city employees actually went into effect in July.
Say that again, Ms. Kay?
That the 3% pay increase for city employees actually went into effect in July.
No, ma'am, they had.
They'll have to be calculated retroactively now. There may be a mistake in the July report, but they have not, no.
If you look at June, just for salaries on fire, for instance, there were 19,941. In August, it was 23,720.
It's like it moved over. I would have to look at it, but they may have some additional overtime getting ready for the rating. I don't know, because I didn't do those reports, but.
Hold on.
It may have.
We haven't approved July's.
But what about the other,
19 and what was it?
the other departments, Ms. Cup?
They all had increased. Even the mayor, let me find out what the mayor. The mayor's salary for July was $34,84.62.
Only thing I can think of, that's the only thing I can think of, Ms. Kay, and I don't have all of my payroll records in front of me, is if we had a 3-month pay period for bi-weekly and monthly and everybody. If that was a month that they got paid twice, 3 times, that would be the only reason. Other than that, there was no change in any of the departments.
August had 5 weeks, but July.
For weekly or bi-weekly? It's
Sometimes it's gonna
different.
jump. The fire and police get paid bi-weekly across the board, all of them.
And so it would be higher.
So if they happen to get paid, I just pulled numbers, paid on the 1st, for the previous 2 weeks, it's gonna fall into that July. Just let us look at it, that may be, that doesn't sound like a whole payroll what you just said. Just
And I know for
like
sure the
this.
3% hasn't been put in, because I would have to start doing that tomorrow since the budget has been approved.
Street salaries were up over $3,000. Every salary column increase that I looked at.
We can look and tell you why, whether it's random increase in overtime or what. But as far as the 3% raises, no, legally we cannot do that.
Until y'all say yay. But I will call you tomorrow, and I'll look it up for the thing tomorrow.
I'm just thinking of the fire department, theirs may very well be overtime because they had, the chief and the assistant were out for a while sick, and they were prepared for the ratings, the inspectors this week, so it could be that. We'll see. We'll just look
I
at it.
considered the overtime, they didn't do overtime, I thought about the 5 weeks. But I couldn't ever, just come up with a logical reason that every department went up.
We don't know off the top of our head, neither one of us actually did that. Payroll.
What is your pleasure?
I'd still go with that up. Except for myself, but that's.
You feel comfortable?
I just still feel very comfortable.
You would table it, then we come back with a special.
And if there's any others, if you do, let us know so we can answer all the questions for you, because those 2 months.
A little bit out there.
So you feel uncomfortable about this one for August, or you feel talking about June and July as well?
July and August.
Yeah.
But I'd also like
Well,
to make some getting them tools where we have the opportunity.
we'll take this. Come back.
You didn't hear what I said? I was commending y'all of getting them to us. in
Why,
time.
thank you.
So I can look at them.
Well, thank you.
And I liked our little packet, it had everything in it.
I told him to wake y'all up if you were asleep.
Okay,
I made the motion.
Second.
all in favor, say aye. Let the record reflect that it's unanimously approved. Nay. Let the record reflect that it passed.
Okay, for a table grant,
Yeah, I voted nay to table.
to table.
I'll accept the motion to go into executive session.
Make a motion to go into executive session.
Mr. Mayor?
To discuss,
Mr. Mayor, I do understand that you're going to executive session. My question's not this, but for clarification, I didn't get Miss Amanda's title or
Just
position
Amanda.
with the city.
Just Amanda.
What? I just speak I didn't get her title or position.
I don't have one. It's the same as,
You don't have one?
I came to help with the budget and consultation. We'll see what's gonna come up.
Consultation, thank you.
Well, maybe that's not the right word. We'll see what
did you go motion to go into executive session?
I made a motion.
Who's second? Second, all in favor, say aye. We're in executive session. And a motion to come out? Yeah.
Now make a motion that we come out of executive session.
The proper move. And second, all in favor, say aye.
Mayor, I would also like to make it a motion to amend the amendment, the agenda, to add the mayor pro tem, select the mayor pro tem.
Been properly moved?
Second.
And second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye. Mayor, I would also like to make a motion that we approve Councilman Craig Gill to be the mayor pro tem.
Been properly moved? And second, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
I'll accept the motion.
Make a motion to
Adjourn. Congratulations, Greg.
Thank you.